In this daily drop, I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on the recent major price drops on the DJI Ronin 4D camera system. So let's go. Okay, I can feel the buzz now, a few days away from NAB 2025. And while the daily drop and most of the episodes on this channel are really designed to be evergreen content that has life to them, when we get close to shows like this, Cinegear, IBC, it's inevitable that the conversations change slightly and we're talking about stuff that is relevant to now. Okay, this is no exception, and there's going to be a lot of rollouts, a lot of new announcements coming out over the next few days. And while this is not a new product announcement, like we'll probably see on Friday, April 4th in the morning, at least for me, from Blackmagic Design, and some of the other things that will be announced at the show, it's still a possible precursor to what might be happening at NAB. And what is the thing that happened? Well, DJI did huge price drops on both the 6K and 8K versions of the DJI Ronin 4D. If you're not familiar with this camera, it's very, very unique in terms of form factor and what it is. And it's now being used on features, episodic television shows, and is definitely becoming part, even if just in a small way, part of the rotation of cameras that people use, namely for what it can do that is not necessarily as easy for other cameras to do because of its form factor, its built-in gimbal-based system, so on and so forth. So price drops are always welcome unless you just bought a camera or that camera. But what we're seeing is in the 6K version of the Ronin 4D, $1,800 price drop, which brings the price of the camera down to just below $5,000 US. And then for the 8K version, an almost $4,000 US price drop, which is bringing it to just under $10,000 US for the camera system. Also, another announcement, ProRes RAW license used to be odd price, $979. That's dropped down to $1, probably because there has to be some monetary exchange involved as opposed to just giving it away for free. So something's changed there in terms of licensing. And this is exciting. If you don't know, DJI owns and has owned Hasselblad for a long time. Obviously, they make a lot of different types of production equipment that have cameras and lenses in them. And the Ronin 4D is going to be an interesting one if they rev it. Are they going to play the Blackmagic game and what some of the other companies are doing, where they're going medium format? I don't like the term large format because now it's being used for full frame cameras. So I'm going to say medium format, 65 millimeter, 70 millimeter, kind of the IMAX shrunken concept in terms of the camera. So are they going to go that route? Hasselblad has a long history of producing medium format cameras. So it's not out of the question that we would possibly see a Ronin 4D, which is medium format. And they have the IP or intellectual property to put out medium format lenses. So that could be an interesting one. I'd also love to see cameras from DJI that are a little bit more conventional, because I feel like the 4D, while amazing, and if you follow Make Art Now, you'll know that one of Josh's favorite cameras is the Ronin 4D, and that's a great channel to check out for all of the content, but also some of the Ronin 4D stuff specifically. Put a link in the description. But I'd like to see something where you're not so tied into the uniqueness of the Ronin 4D. Is that an unreasonable ask? I don't know. There's so many box style cameras out there, but I'd still like to have something from them that gives us an option there. So that could be really interesting. And the question is, are these price drops a precursor to new cameras being released? Are they just trying to move inventory, combination of both? Or is it just that they're dropping the price of this to move more cameras in the market? I don't know the answer, but an almost $2,000 and an almost $4,000 price drop are pretty significant. The question is this a permanent price drop? My guess is probably yes. You don't usually do a huge price drop like this unless it was something that you found on, for instance, B&H's deal of the day, and then it went away after 24 hours. And you just don't really see that. Usually it's a permanent thing. And we are seeing other price drops happen. We're seeing, like today, the FX30, $300 price drop. But that regularly gets a $200 price drop. So this is the first time I've personally seen $300. Does that mean something? I'm not sure. My guess is no. I believe the FX3 just had a price drop. Those two, my guess is those are more temporary. But I think that this, personally, I think that the Ronin 4D one is more permanent. So I guess we'll see. I'm getting excited. The buzz is there. So many things are going to be happening over the next few days. And if you're watching this on Wednesday, April 2nd, we're going to be doing at 3 p.m. Pacific time the monthly episode of Camera and Flask, and it's going to be a pre-NAB 2025 episode. So we're going to be talking about rumors and announcements and what we think is going to happen, and come on over and get into it and be part of the conversation. And of course, on this episode, please engage. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about this price drop or price drops on the DJI Ronin 4D system. Don't forget to. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.